Hey guys, Dr. Kahu here and welcome back to my channel. Now today we're going to do a continuation to the what if that I created, and that is what if Naruto Awoken the Rinnegan, part 3. Now as usual guys, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and if you like the chat, like the what if guys, please continue watching. And because you guys have been smashing the like goals, even though you know they've been big and small, I'm very grateful no matter what. It just shows that you guys are really supportive. So in a good way, the next like goal for you guys to meet is 200. If you guys get 200 likes on this video, part 4 will come out. So yeah, and I hope you guys look forward to the other what-offs that I'll be creating too, because I'm going to be making shorter what-offs and long what-offs as well. So they'll be coming up as well. Yeah, you'll see. But yeah, without further ado guys, let's get into this next part of the what-if anyway, and that is what if Naruto Awoken the Rinnegan, part 3. Now let's begin. So we're going to do a quick recap on what happened previously guys, and then jump into the next episode, okay guys? So previously where I left off, Naruto defeated Orochimaru and single-handedly stopped the Konoha crush. He uniquely also gained more power than he actually ever expected. Besides just watching everyone use jutsu, he unintentionally absorbed the first and second Hokage spirit. He released it of course after realizing that, but he gained their abilities and their knowledge. And due to Orochimaru escaping, Konoha had to go through a rebuild process, so the Tsunade arc still proceeded as normal. Itachi and Kakashi's situation was massively different because Kakashi can now activate the Mangekyo at will without bad effect, and unlike Itachi, Kakashi won't go blind thanks to Naruto's help. And so it kind of neutralized their fight, but Itachi and Kisame are still out there. And so where I actually left the story off was Naruto, Sasuke and Sakura with Jiraiya, Tsunade, Shizune confronting Orochimaru and Kabuto. So from there guys, let's begin. Orochimaru is staring at Tsunade and Jiraiya. Naruto standing right there too, and Orochimaru is looking at Naruto. Kabuto is quite interested. He didn't realize that something like that kind of thing could exist when it comes to Naruto. The eyes, the magic, the power it seems. But Orochimaru knows too well what kind of power the Rinnegan has. He dealt with Pain, and Pain pretty much owned him without even trying. So without even thinking, Orochimaru tries to persuade them to help, but Jiraiya is too Jiraiya, like Naruto, and tells his friend to give in and come back. So now looking at Jiraiya ever so optimistic, but Naruto and Sasuke and Sakura just watching on from behind the scenes. Orochimaru looks and he realizes that with Naruto and having the power that he has seen, and he's witnessed it too, it's kind of a dangerous thing for Orochimaru. Naruto was able to single-handedly bring down the first and second reanimation Hokages by himself, and he single-handedly saved the third Hokage. So Orochimaru understands that Naruto is not someone to be trifled with. So for a backup plan, he instantly releases a snake. The snake wraps around Kabuto, bites his neck, and that snake bites Orochimaru's neck. He instantly waves hand signs and does a release, and he tells Kabuto, "You'll understand." Kabuto gets reverse summoned with that snake. Orochimaru instantly goes into his full powered Sage mode. Bear in mind, Orochimaru did not lose his jutsus, so he's still at full power. And so as he explodes to full power, he goes on to attack Tsunade, Jiraiya. In doing so, Tsunade goes to punch him. Orochimaru jumps, but Jiraiya uses his Raging Lion Mane to try to grab Orochimaru, and he does and throws him away. And Jiraiya and Tsunade try to direct the battle outside the village. Naruto, Sasuke and Sakura are just looking on at amazement. He understands what their level is, but Sakura and Sasuke are like, what the hell? Like Sakura just saw this woman punch a creator so massive that it baffles her. Only Naruto can do that. Then that's her thinking, like, what the hell? And this guy with the white hair, like she now understands this guy's super duper powerful. And so Naruto, Sasuke and Sakura, they realize that they need to cut their going, so they rush off. Shizune rushes too. Orochimaru realizes that Tsunade and Jiraiya are both working in perfect tandem like how they normally would, so he retreats himself. He pulls himself to an open plain, well, near an open plain at least, where he can get a better feel for the battle. When they get there, All three of them instinctively weave hand signs and they jump in their individual area. And just like how they do in canon, they do a three-way deadlock. What's it called? Katsuyu, Manda, and Gamabunta lands in the middle of the battlefield. When Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura, even Shizune look up, they're like, whoa, what the hell? Naruto goes, I read about this. That's the legendary Tsunade's three-way deadlock. And Naruto goes, I am not going to be left out of this battle, Sasuke, Sakura. And they come close, and Shizune's like, Naruto? And Naruto's like, and I was like, wood style! And they're like, what? Boom! Massive wooded golem comes out of the ground. Sasuke's like, when did you? How did you? Naruto goes, a long story. And then Naruto is on top of the massive wood golem. Immediately goes down and grabs Manda. Jiraiya and them are like, what the? Orochimaru's like, that brat with the Rinnegan. He jumps up and tries to attack Naruto. Naruto is just standing there calmly, and as Orochimaru gets close, the wooden dragon that's on the wood golem itself goes down to attack Orochimaru. Orochimaru just manages to dodge it, but Sasuke shoots a fireball jutsu and Sakura made it look invisible. Thanks to Sage Mode, Orochimaru was able to perceive it and dodge half of it, but he still gets pushed off course, thrown way down, and in doing so, what ends up going down is Jiraiya uses Gamabunta to jump him up. He weaves a hand sign, and when Naruto throws Manda down using the wooden golem, what goes down, Jiraiya uses the total fireball jutsu and does a massive toad style flamethrower, big as one, just almost kills Manda and Orochimaru. But luckily Orochimaru was really quick and able to dodge it, or able to just dodge it. And again, so what happens is he didn't account for Katsuyu. Katsuyu releases the acid, Orochimaru gets hit with the acid. When Tsunade sees this, she jumps down to go try to slam him to end him. But what happens is Orochimaru's mouth rips open and another Orochimaru rushes out massively fast. Naruto sees this, he tells Sakura to hold on. He puts his hands together, he releases the stone golem, the wooden golem. And he just uses the wooden dragon, they go across. Naruto goes, Sakura, can you make that? And she goes, on it. She begins to weave her hand signs and she makes a metacast unique illusion. Orochimaru states that these illusions are not going to work on him. Naruto goes, so Naruto tells Sakura to do some pillars of stone, but as an illusion. And as Orochimaru runs up, he thinks it's an illusion. But Naruto did a hand sign for Earth Star to appear. And as Orochimaru runs into it, he instantly hits some of the walls. And he's like, what the? I swear this was a genjutsu. And Naruto's looking at him and goes, damn. Naruto instantly opens his hand up and goes, let's give this another go. Almighty push. Boom. A massive handprint indents the ground, slamming Orochimaru into the ground, pushing the entire forest out of the way. And Naruto's like, the wooden dragon starts to go down. Naruto's starting to lose a little bit of consciousness. And Sasuke looking at Naruto and goes, when do you ever focus? Naruto instantly gets himself back in control. He brings the wooden dragon down and says, sorry about that. I always forget how much that takes a toll on me. And Sasuke looks at Naruto. He buzzes out how powerful Naruto was, but he's so nonchalant, not egotistical. He uses his power to either end the fight right away or try to limit as much destruction or damage that can be caused by it, despite Naruto summoning a gigantic wooden golem. But anyway, Orochimaru recovers and gets up on the fight, and Naruto manages to get down on the ground. Well, and this is where Orochimaru sees his chance. He rushes in and he goes to try to throw a kick at Naruto. But Jiraiya at this time has summoned Mind Partoad on his shoulders already, so he's already in the Sage Mode. And he lands, smashes right by Orochimaru, catching his leg. And when Orochimaru sees this, he's like, oh. Jiraiya's like, good to see you, old friend. Leans in, throws a mean punch to Orochimaru's face, sends him flying. Orochimaru scatters across the ground. Gamabunta slams the sword into the oncoming Orochimaru, not the bladed side, the flat inside. So when he slams into the flat inside, Tsunade jumps right into him and punches him straight into the ground, causing a massive earthquake. Massive earthquake. Orochimaru's lying there. He's trying to get up, but ends up going down from there. Sasuke weaves hand signs and shoots 3 fireball jutsus right at Orochimaru. And they explode. And as Naruto runs and walks over, Orochimaru is pretty much down and out. Naruto does 4 other shadow clones. He opens his hand and he absorbs the fire style that's burning around Orochimaru. And Tsunade is just buzzing out just how literal Naruto's power is. Naruto puts his hands together and creates a real powerful light seal, locking Orochimaru in place. Naruto closes his hand fully, locking Orochimaru, making it unable for him to use his jutsus to even get out. As Orochimaru starts to speak, wood pillars start to wrap around his body properly, forming a perfect wooden casket cocoon that seals properly, locks Orochimaru in, allows him to breathe and live and everything like that, but Orochimaru can't get out. Naruto raises his hand, the pretty much coffin drops, or the seal drops of Orochimaru in it. Tsunade looks over to him, and she goes, "Be up front, kid. How did you learn how to do wood style?" "Only my grandfather could do that." Naruto goes, "Yeah, about that." And Jiraiya tells Tsunade, they all have a drink and they talk again. Then they tell Tsunade what actually happened with Naruto, his power, blah 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 blah. And she goes, "Oh, you got to meet my grandfather?" Naruto goes, "Yeah, I got to see how much he loved you too, and how much you really like him." And she laughs. Tsunade laughs hard out. She grabs Naruto and nudges his head, and she's quite happy. It's familiar. Naruto smiles, having that familiarity, and doing so, Tsunade is quite happy because if that's the case, Tsunade looks at Naruto as her close relative now, in the case of mindset, but only due to that fact. And Naruto has that same semblance, and there's no disrespect on either side no more at all. And so Tsunade agrees. She still asks Jiraiya, "So the old man's gonna pay for my debt, right?" And he's like, "Yes, yes." What happens is Jiraiya's casually carrying Orochimaru. Orochimaru's screaming inside the casket, "Let me out, you crazy idiots!" Jiraiya spent all night reading his make-up tactic books to Orochimaru, drove him crazy. And as Jiraiya's walking, he's just torturing Orochimaru, saying, "All the fun we're gonna have, old friend." Sasuke's like, "I hope you never do that to me, Naruto." Naruto goes, "Don't count on that." Sasuke looks at them, they both look at each other and they kind of laugh. And as they walk on, Orochimaru talks to Sasuke. But Sasuke goes, "You're not going to tempt me. You're not going to get me to break you out. I'm not that stupid." And Orochimaru goes, "No. You're just weak compared to your brother." And he goes, "I know that. But my brother got strong because he worked hard. I will do the same. It's not just about talent. I learned that now. It's how much effort you put into it." And Orochimaru goes, "Is that right?" Sasuke activates the 3-Tome Sharingan and goes, "That is right." Curse mark begins to envelop on his neck. And Orochimaru looks at the curse mark. He's like, "What the hell?" Sasuke goes, "I've mastered this thing. I'm able to activate this. Your influence does not control me. I'm able to take in nature energy better without your influence." Orochimaru's pissed off. And he goes, "That damn uncle." And he goes, "Yeah, my other sensei, the one that mastered your power. Yeah, I think you should be more wise to listen to her. She may have the solution to your resurrecting body." And Orochimaru looks at Sasuke, and Sasuke goes, just looks away. Sakura's just looking at Tsunade. They're all walking back to Konoha. And Tsunade's like, "Yes." And Sakura goes, "Wow, you're so amazing, powerful, beautiful. How can you be as old as these two?" And Jiraiya and Orochimaru actually kind of laugh at that. And so this was in there, but she compliments Sakura and she's happy. And she tells Sakura, like, "Do you got any senseis besides Kakashi and Kuronai?" No, but Sakura explains over the trip that she wants to get stronger and be more useful. Genjutsu is good, but everything. And when Tsunade hears that, she goes, instantly she knows what she's going to do. So when they get back to Konoha, everything dramatically changes. Not only that, Naruto watched Tsunade and also watched the thing that's on her head. The thing that gathers chakra. Naruto's like, that looks like Mito Uzumaki's one, the one that Hashirame's wife had, the Uzumaki seal. They're the same kind of concept. And so, as Naruto, and then all in the village, the third Hokage welcomes them all back. He desires for Jiraiya to become Hokage, but Jiraiya's like, "Hell no, I do not want to become Hokage yet. No way." Orochimaru is in custody, and Danzo wants a piece of him, but the third Hokage's like, "No way you're going to be a part of this. You're going to stay away from him." And Tsunade becomes the head of the medical institute in Konoha. Pretty much, she becomes the head of everything, becomes medical. And Sakura learns everything from her. She becomes her top main student. And so, as the story progresses, we're going to go on to Kabuto's perspective. Now, when Kabuto appears in the base, the snake that bit him was actually a copy of Orochimaru's consciousness. It entered into Kabuto's mind and pretty much took over. So in a sense, Kabuto is Orochimaru. the same Orochimaru that just got locked up, but no, it's a complete copy. It was a backup just in case he lost, because Rinnegan Naruto could kill him, and he knows that. And so this is why he made that backup. Kabuto or Orochimaru smiles and goes, I should have done this a long time ago. This body is so much more sufficient for me to utilize. Thank you, Kabuto. And Orochimaru smiles and he begins to do his research again. Angry that he doesn't have Sasuke, however, he's not down and out as well. And so Orochimaru starts to begin his process normally with everyone else, just without Sasuke. Well, I'm gonna say Kabuto. Kabuto does everything else like normal Orochimaru would do, just without Sasuke and just without having destroyed arms. He can use his full power. And so Kabuto goes on to do way more worse things that I will cover in the future parts of the episode. But back to Konoha. With Naruto and them resettling in the village, everyone already getting down to, well, figuring stuff out, the third Hokage immediately promotes Naruto, Sasuke and Sakura to tunings without the tuning exams, because one, Naruto would have easily won, two, Sasuke would have come second. Yeah, so all the main ones, everyone's get promoted to tunings, you know. Naruto is technically going to get promoted to joining, but Naruto goes, no, these things he wants to do. And Sasuke goes, things, and Naruto states, he tells Sasuke that because of absorbing the first and second Hokage, Naruto knows too much. The life that he has here is amazing, but and Naruto looks out in the world. There's a lot I need to do. There's a lot I need to learn. And Jiraiya hears this, and here's Naruto talking. And he goes, "Well then, young fella, I'm off on a journey for a bit. You keen to come, Naruto?" Naruto looks at Jiraiya and he goes, "What do you say?" And Naruto's looking at him, and he goes, "Well, do you want to come, Naruto?" Naruto goes, "Yes, I would like to come, Jiraiya Sensei." He's so excited. It's not about just getting strong for Naruto now, it's expanding his mind. Naruto's already powerful. He's gonna work and condition himself in his chakra use and everything. But Naruto is even more powerful. And he's learnt a lot of things thanks to the first and second Hokage. Like, yeah, this Naruto is Hokage level already. Like, damn, Naruto, this one. But anyway, what goes down is Naruto agrees, so with the permission of the third Hokage, Naruto gets ready to leave the village. What ends up going down is Sasuke stays in the village, also with Sakura. And what happens also is Orochimaru stays in the village. Now, in canon, Orochimaru was meant to die not long before Sasuke absorbed his body, or absorbed him, in canon timeline. And so just for argument's sake, thanks to Anko fixing the curse seal on Sasuke, she was able to do a certain different one with the real Orochimaru body, with the body that's there, and keep him like that permanently. Not forever, he's still gonna age and die, but the body won't reject him now, thanks to Anko's help. She was able to figure out something different, and it worked. Orochimaru stayed in the cell, but slowly but surely became a help to Konoha, because the third Hokage couldn't dismiss that Orochimaru was valuable. He was wise, his old student. And so, much like how they do to, if you've seen the anime movie, the Naruto in the fire prison, or whatever that one is, the prison of fire, whatever, where they're in the land of grass, or whatever it is, and then that prison, and they have their fire celestial seal. I'm going to state that Orochimaru gets one of those seals placed on his chest, on him as well, and he's locked in the village. If he leaves, absolute pain. But then Naruto looks at it before he leaves, and he finds it completely barbaric. And he now has because he has the second Hokage's ability of the Flying Raijin, Naruto re-envelops the seal. So if Orochimaru tries to leave the village, he'll teleport straight back into the prison. And Orochimaru at first was like, he hated that, but it's better than burning. And so the third Hokage was like, that's a good one. And what's better about it, it's Orochimaru's chakra that gets drained when it pulls it back. And so what ends up going down is, right away, Konoha becomes more of a safer place. So before Naruto leaves, they all agree, Team 7 all agree that they're going to come back and they're going to challenge each other, they're going to become all stronger. Naruto agrees, Sasuke agrees, Sakura agrees. And as they shake each other's hand, they move on. what ends up going down is Naruto, Jiraiya leave, Sasuke stays in the village, Sakura stays in the village, and from there we're gonna do I'm unsure. This is the one thing I'm always confused about. People, when it comes to the manga and the anime, they say 2.5 years, 3-year time skip between Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, and I always confuse myself because I think it was due to the fact that I watched the anime at that time first before I read that part of the manga. So I think so. But so I'm just gonna go with the anime part and say it's 3 years, okay? 3-year journey with Jiraiya. And so when Naruto comes back, yes, he's tall, and he's wearing robes much more akin to how he would as a sage or just Naruto. You know, he's wearing the same gear, but really, really powerful. Naruto is really, really powerful. Bear in mind, Sasuke has had no interaction with the Itachi at all, because the third Hokage is still alive. He did come to the village in the canon to keep the deal of the third Hokage with Sasuke alive. However, yeah, things didn't work out the first time. But anyway, Naruto enters the village. Sasuke himself is a beast. He's a massive beast. Sasuke lands right in front of Naruto. He's wearing full-on Ombu gear. A mask. He turns the mask over around the side of his face, and he goes, welcome Naruto. Naruto looks at Sasuke and goes, whoa, Sasuke! He goes, what did you expect? You're gonna be one of these clowns wearing those kind of vests? And Naruto goes, no, I didn't expect that really, nah. And they both smile. What ends up happening is Orochimaru appears. Jiraiya smiles and shakes Orochimaru's hand. Hey, old friend. Orochimaru says, Jiraiya, Naruto. Naruto smiles and goes, how's life been back in the village, Orochimaru? And Orochimaru goes, condescending as it might sound, Naruto. Life is interesting. I got to follow a new path, it seems. Naruto goes, interesting. And what happens is Sakura is just randomly walking and she walks over and she sees Naruto. Naruto? Naruto runs over and they talk and they hang out. And Sakura sees Sasuke and they're close. They live together for years, so they understand each other. They all catch up and they're all happy to see each other. Naruto goes, can they go have some ramen? But Jiraiya's like, nope, go see Tsunade first. And so from here, Team 7 pretty much gets put into the same treatment. Sasuke's been in the Anbu for the last 2 years, so he hasn't really been in the village. He's been really, really busy, getting stronger, being, the bomb. And so Sasuke is awesome. Sakura has been working even more harder than in canon, to the point where she's further along with the Byakugo seal. She's really further along, so she's really, really strong, and she's just more better at genjutsu and her super duper strength and healing abilities. So that's Sakura. Naruto is like god tier Rinnegan abilities now. Naruto has none of the drainage effects how he used to when he used to use his abilities before. He has absolute control of his power, and he has access to a few others as well. And so when Naruto, Sasuke and Sakura stand in the office, Tsunade smiles at all three of them. She buzzes out. She's like, wow, how different all of you look. She looks at Sakura and she goes, that's her. She looks at Naruto, yep, you're the idiot Jiraiya, and looks at Sasuke, that's Orochimaru. And it cracks Tsunade up because all three of them are in the same room. And it's just like, whoa. And the third Hokage's like, welcome back, Naruto. And welcome back, Sasuke. He explains the deal upon reforming Team 7 again, but he would like to see a challenge. And Naruto's like, oh, and what's that challenge? And Jiraiya goes, you three challenge us. And Orochimaru smiles, Sasuke looks down and goes, and Sakura's like, really? She clicks her hands, and Tsunade looks at, like, it's really interesting. Till the third Hokage, he sees that the young ones are going to have to challenge the old ones, but it's fine. The test is all about teamwork. They're meant to take down the third Hokage. That's the battle test. The only reason why is because Naruto is beyond normal, and they know that. And Sakura for Konoichi is stronger than anyone but Tsunade. And Sasuke is a prodigy Uchiha with perfect curse mark on his neck. Yes, Sasuke is a beast. And so as all of them appear at the they all appear differently to the training area. Sakura walks, of course. Naruto walks through a portal, which shook Sakura, and lightning appears and Sasuke instantly moves with lightning streaks echoing around his body. He lands. Naruto goes, flashy. Sasuke goes, I see you have learned new moves too. Naruto goes, Sakura's like, you too. They look at each other and they will fist bump. They're happy to see each other. And they look over, and yep, Orochimaru, Jiraiya, and Lady Tsunade come out. And that makes them smile. They all understand. And then the third Hokage goes, it's simple. He stands at the back. You guys have until sunrise to retrieve the bells. Naruto sits there and smiles. Alright. Does that mean we have to all go all out? And Jiraiya's like looking at the third Hokage. And the third Hokage summons King Enma and holds a staff in his hand. And he goes, yes, you all go all out. Tsunade releases her Byakugo seal. Immediately. The third Hokage releases the seal on Orochimaru. Orochimaru goes into his full Sage mode power, his Snake Sage. And Jiraiya closes his eyes, opens his eyes, he enters into a Sage mode. Because bear in mind, training with the Rinnegan Naruto, yep, Jiraiya masters Sage mode. And as they stand there, Sakura's like, whoa, like the power up was massive. But Team 7 kind of laugh at it. Sakura instantly puts her gloves on. And see what happens is, she doesn't have the Byakugo seal yet, but she flexes her chakra, which cracks the ground, which shows the impression of her power. And it impresses them like, interesting. Sasuke fully removes the Onbu mask, opens his eyes, his curse mark envelops him properly, goes right around his entire body. And his Rinnegan goes from being red to yellow Rinnegan. So his Sharingan goes from being red to yellow Sharingan, because his curse sage mark is perfect. And Sasuke shoots his wings up, brings his wings up. So he's full power, pulls his sword out, black lighting on his sword. Everyone's like, whoa. And Naruto's like, alright then. Naruto looks right at them, Sage mode instantly activates on his head. And Naruto goes KCM2. And when Naruto goes KCM2, he goes, so, how do you want us to go down there, Jiraiya Sensei? Jiraiya looks at Naruto, he goes, this is kinda unfair. And Naruto goes, no, this is, puts his hands together, he goes, wood style. Multiple wooden clone jutsus, makes wooden clone jutsu of Naruto, they jump all around. They all go into KCM Sage mode and they stand right in front of Jiraiya and goes, should I go into the full avatar state, Jiraiya Sensei, or should I just leave the clones the way they are? The third Hokage looks around him. Sasuke and them are like, what the? And Jiraiya's like, yeah, this is no fun. Okay, there's kind of no point, Naruto. Naruto goes, I know, but if I really want to, boom, Naruto puts his hands up, stops the third Hokage in the spot. King Enma's like, he's like, Hiruzen, what's that? And the bells lift up. Naruto catches the bells, and he goes, I could just do that. And Jiraiya's like, Naruto, what did we talk about? Naruto goes, I understand. Naruto returns the bells back to the third Hokage, puts his hands together, releasing the shadow clones, or the wooden clones, and powers down to base form without the KCM2 and the Sage mode, just normal Rinnegan. And the third Hokage goes, ah. Sasuke smiles, and Sakura's like, are we doing this or not? The third Hokage goes, it's kind of pointless. It was really kind of pointless, because it kind of ate his own shoe in a sense, because he told them all came at him at full power. So telling Naruto, after 3 years of training with the Rinnegan, and before their 3 years of training, the Nine Tails was willingly giving Naruto chakra. Okay? And this is now Naruto that had 3 years of training with the first Hokage's memories and the second Hokage's. Okay? So Naruto is a monster with power. Monster. And so Team 7 is dubbed Team 7 again under Kakashi. Jiraiya is all good now, he is out. And before they go, Orochimaru just talks about how he's been working with Onko to perfect the seal. And thanks to the research with Sasuke, he's perfected a proper seal. And Jiraiya said, what do you mean? Orochimaru stretches out his arm, a snake bites Jiraiya's neck. And Naruto sees this and he's instantly about to react. Like he's instantly about to obliterate Orochimaru and put him into his place straight away. But Jiraiya puts his hand up to Naruto and goes, no. And the snake releases and Jiraiya's like, what is that? And he goes, it's the same as Sasuke. It's the gift that I told you I wanted to give everyone in Konoha years ago, before I got corrupted with my own ideals. Orochimaru turns around and goes, the sad thing about it, Jiraiya, did you find him? Jiraiya goes, no, we didn't find him. I see. And Kabuto will be continuing the work that I set him out to do. And Jiraiya's like, Because bear in mind, when Naruto and Jiraiya were traveling the world, keeping from the Akatsuki, because the Akatsuki are still part of this, it's just they're in their own type of limbo. Naruto and Jiraiya were looking for Kabuto's whereabouts, but they couldn't find it. And so a lot has changed. But with Team 7 all realigned and the old team re-talking, Tsunade explains that she's been working with the Orochimaru too and has perfected the seal. So it makes it easy for full energy to pass through. And Jiraiya's like, isn't this cheating though? And Orochimaru goes, well, it makes people safe, gives people the ability to heal, rely on that. They will only get the first stage of the curse mark. Jiraiya goes, first stage? Or Sasuke goes, I'll show you. Sasuke deactivates, so they all talk, Jiraiya, and Sasuke shows him the second stage, or the first stage, where the lines appear. And Jiraiya sees that there's a dramatic increase in power, the wounds heal like in emergency, and he realizes that's actually quite good. It's actually perfect for the village. And so Jiraiya shakes his friend's hand and thanks him for the gift that he has, and he's going to go off to do his mission. Tsunade's like, this guy. She goes does her job, and Orochimaru looks at Sasuke, and Sasuke smiles. Naruto goes, he's your sensei? And Sasuke goes, yeah, how did you know? Snakes. Naruto's like, that's not saying anything, Naruto. But they all catch up, they all hang out, and they understand, they reunite with everything they do. And then when the word comes that the Akatsuki have attacked not just attacked the Hidden Sand, but they've taken Gaara, Team 7 is immediately called into action. Kakashi, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura are commissioned to go out of the village and find help Gaara. And so they leave. Although Naruto is not waiting, he weaves a hand sign, and Naruto puts his hands together and summons a massive bird, pretty similar to the bird summoning contract that Sasuke does. And Sasuke goes, how did you do this? And Naruto goes, I'll tell you later. Sakura, they all get there, and they arrive there about a couple of hours earlier than canon. So Kankuro is still in pain, but Kankuro was just found and brought into hospital. So the time Sakura got there, she was able to assess the situation. And as Naruto looks at it, he uses the Rinnegan, and he sees it really carefully. He tells him there's pieces all through his body. He tells Sakura where it is, and as Sakura's doing the jutsu what Naruto's watching, Naruto begins to mimic and do the same thing. And then Naruto goes, he has a faster way, but it doesn't look safe on their part. And Sakura's like, yeah. Naruto puts his hands together, but Sakura still develops a cure, antibody to it. But Naruto puts his hands together, and what happens is a massive mouth opens up, and it scares everyone. And as it's about to eat Kankuro, Tamari instantly objects. She don't care if this heals him. She's not going to let him go into that. It scares her, and so Naruto, by all accounts, agrees. And so he deactivates the King of Hell and walks and sits down. Bear in mind, Lady Chiyo does not attack because Naruto scares the hell out of her, okay? And not only that, she's not even there yet. With Kankuro being there, but Kankuro just arrived at the hospital. And so when Sakura pulls out all the poison and everything like that, Kankuro is allowed to heal properly. Chiyo comes and sees everyone, still reacts to Kakashi, but doesn't try to do anything because when she sees Naruto, the eyes scare her because she has only heard of them in legend. And so they all stay back and stay in the area. Kankuro wakes up a little bit earlier, and they have the puppies. And so what happens is they send the puppies out to he sends the dogs out to go and find the base. But this time, Tsunade, the third Hokage does not send Guy, Rock Lee, or to Tenten. He doesn't. Only due to the fact that Team 7 has got it. He's confident. And so Team 7 rest up, Naruto rests up, Sasuke then will do as well. And when Paku and his crew come back, they find the base much earlier than canon, and so they head off. Zetsu warns them, and he tells them the kid with the Rinnegan is coming. And what happens is Pain has been waiting for this for a long time. Bear in mind, the Akatsuki has been made aware of Naruto's existence after the Great Naruto Bridge, so they've known for a while. But they just, kept to themselves. Especially Pain, because he's in his own league, like, is this a second coming? Like, am I the false god? Is he the false god? So it's just, in Pain's mind, he's going through his own semblance of thinking. But as Naruto and them approach, what happens is they are interrupted by both Kisame and Itachi's fake people. Without even hesitating, Sasuke sees Itachi. Itachi stands up and goes, "Hello, Sasuke." Lightning appears around Sasuke, appears right by Itachi. He goes to throw an attack. Itachi puts a kunai up and they clash. Itachi opens his eyes and Sasuke opens his eyes, revealing his Sharingan. And briefly they have a massive melee clash until Sasuke puts a sword right through Itachi's gut, lifting him up. Itachi smiles, he just coughs out blood, but he's trying to make it as convincing as possible for Sasuke. And Sasuke sees this, sees this. Itachi tormented him. He forced Sasuke to do this, in a sense. And when Sasuke cries, killing his brother, because bear in mind he still needed to kill Itachi in his mind. His eyes briefly activate the Mangekyo because he thinks he killed his brother. And when Sasuke pulls the sword out and Itachi drops to the ground, dead in his mind, the Mangekyo fully open up. And Kisame goes to swing at Sasuke, but what happens is Sakura appears, catching Kisame's hand, stopping him on his tracks, pulling Samihara out of his hands, throwing it away. And when Kisame said, "What the?" Sakura's fist hits Kisame's face, slamming him to the ground, making a massive crater, destroying him completely. What happened is Chiyo was just watching like, what the hell? Sakura's earthquake punch just killed Kisame, but what happens is Sasuke's Mangekyo is activated. But what goes down is the Itachi that's standing in front of him was a clone. And Naruto looks at Sasuke and Sasuke looks at Naruto. And so what happens is Sasuke kind of blacks out for a brief moment. They stop for a bit and allow Sasuke to recover. Chiyo tells them that they should hurry up because what if the Akatsuki do this? What if the Akatsuki do that? Kakashi goes, "No, we don't run. We don't leave our team behind." And Naruto stands there, and as Naruto and Sakura heals Sasuke to get up, Sasuke gets up and he goes, "Itachi." Naruto goes, "You killed a fake clone of Itachi, if that's what you mean. But you knocked your Mangekyo Sharingan." Sasuke looks at Naruto and he goes, So the progression is through pain. That's quite interesting. And Sasuke goes, "What is that?" And he goes, "Uchiha achieved their power through the deep-rooted emotion. Because of their notion that they love so much that when it comes to losing it, they generate a unique chakra in their mind, in their head, which activates the Sharingan, as you know." Sasuke looks at Naruto like, "How do you know this?" And he goes, "Because the second Hokage studied the Uchiha. He's the one who didn't like the Uchiha at all. But the first Hokage made best friends with it. Madara Uchiha was his best friend. They built Konoha together. A Senju and a Uchiha." Sasuke looking at Naruto. Naruto goes, "I understand full well how the Sharingan works actually. Through the progression of pain." And Sasuke looks at Naruto and he looks at pain. Now he realizes Itachi was trying to make him awaken the eyes. But what goes down is when they get to the Akatsuki base, Naruto sees it and he realizes the base is split by tags. He deduces it pretty fast because he's a bloody genius. Naruto stands in the water and puts his hand up, and a barrier of a ceiling barrier comes around his feet. Naruto taps his foot on the ground, and the ceiling barrier ceiling line hits the Akatsuki entrance by the base, and it pulls all the tags off at the same time. Naruto locks those tags up and destroys them. And Sasuke goes, "What was that?" Naruto goes, "Remember that fire style seal I taught you? Well, this was the mega advanced version to it." Sasuke looks at Naruto like, "What the hell?" And Naruto goes, "This thing here was bound by 5 different seals. You had to pull them all at the same time and then break this one. But they had secondary protocols. If I was to look at these sealing tags, they had duplicating mimicry to it, meaning if you were to touch it, it would have copied you at your base level now at strength. But if you activate the Sharingan or Crystal Mark, it would destroy it." You get it? Sasuke goes, I get it." And Naruto goes, "Yeah." Naruto grabs the sealing tags and lights them on fire. And Sakura, without further ado, rushes in and smashes the wall. When she smashes the wall, both Naruto and Sasuke look at each other. Sasuke goes, "Oh my god, she would kill me if I could trick her." Naruto's like, that would hurt if they hit me." And what happens is when the Akatsuki is standing there looking dumbfounded, Naruto sees the Gedo statue, and the Gedo statue sees Naruto. And seeing Naruto sees the Sage of Six Paths behind Naruto. And sees Naruto's massive power. When Pain and Naruto make eye contact with each other, Naruto is shocked to see another Uzumaki with the Rinnegan. And as Naruto stands right in front of Pain, Pain's only an astral projection, but he smiles. The only two Akatsuki members that are there are, Satori and Sasori and Deidara. They're the only Akatsuki members there. When Sasuke sees Itachi sees Sasuke activates the Mangekyo, and Itachi lets off a little smile. Sasuke sees it straight away. So what the? And when he looks at Deidara and Sasori, Sasuke goes, Naruto, how fast do you want to end this? Naruto goes, I don't know, Kakashi Sensei. And as they're about to speak, Naruto notices Gaara underneath the bird, lifeless. Naruto's like, huh? Opens his hands up, pulls Gaara's body straight to him. And Naruto puts it down. And when Deidara and Sasori sees this, they rush in to go attack Deidara without even hesitating, checking all of his biggest attacks. But Sasuke runs through with a lightning chakra, electrifying the area, destroyed all the K-bombs. Sasuke rushes straight up to Deidara and punches him straight in the face, sends him flying. Sasori summons hundreds of puppets to attack Sasuke, but what ends up happening is Sakura picks up a big boulder and throws it, and Sasuke chucks up lightning like a lightning web all over the air and makes it like a massive net of lightning, destroying all the hundreds of puppets. When Sasori sees this, he's like, what the hell? He pulls out the Kazekage, the Iron Dust one, and they fight, but it's only a brief fight. Sakura deflects the majority of the middle, and Sasuke's just way too fast, to the point where he destroys all the puppets immediately in the blink of an eye. And what goes down is when the real puppet of Sasori comes, Sasuke destroys it, places his hand right through Sasori's chest. Sasuke looks right at Sasuke. Sasuke looks right at the puppet. And he rips out and goes, crushes it. They do it straight away. Sasori's dead. Cheers looking on, understanding that, well, your grandson stuffed up. Good job. And as Sasuke turns around, Deidara is already on the ground. He goes, what? Like he thought his punch would not be enough to incapacitate him, until Sasuke realizes Deidara's been held down by wood style. And what happens is when Sasuke looks over, that wood style is draining Deidara of his life. But like what? Naruto's waving hand signs, and then he puts his hands together and goes, Ghetto. Wood style. He's ghetto art. Wood style. The wood drains Deidara's life. A form of exchange. Instead of Chiyo giving her life, Naruto forces Deidara to give her his. And so, in extracting Deidara's life, Naruto puts the energy life force into Gaara, reinforcing it, building it up stronger, and when Gaara wakes up, he's alive thanks to the Akatsuki that killed him. The person that what happens is everything from there goes relatively the same in the Hidden Sand. They thank Naruto for saving the Kazekage, bringing close relationships and bonds to Konoha, and Naruto does a unique seal on the Hidden Sand. He taps the ground with his hand, and what happens is a massive seal goes right around the entire Hidden Sand village. Naruto walks away and he goes, well, see you later. Are you guys ready? Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi, and they're like, yeah. And they're like, 3, 2, 1, boom. They instantly teleport back to Konoha, and Sasuke goes, that is really useful. What is that? And Kakashi goes, that's the Flying Raijin. How did you... Oh yeah, the second Hokage. Naruto smiles, yep. I put a massive seal in Konoha too, and every place that I went to, I even visited an old Uchiha base. It was pretty cool, to be honest. I mean, Jiraiya Sensei went everywhere. And so Sasuke wanted to know. Now, this story arc is going to continue differently, because the Tenchi Bridge situation don't happen, because Kabuto is Orochimaru, but there's no need for it. What goes down is Naruto over the period explains his journey. Even Sasuke and Sakura, they explain their journeys to Naruto. Sasuke explained his journey with him protecting the feudal lord, going around all of the land of fire, getting stronger, pushing himself, him and Kakashi. And then when Sasuke came back, him and Orochimaru became his sensei, teaching him how to control his abilities even better. Kakashi even helping him. And now that Sasuke has the Mangekyo, he's just even more powerful. And then it comes to Naruto. Naruto states that he went back to where his people come from, not at the Hidden Edi village. Absolutely nothing but ruins and a destroyed village. What happens? Naruto goes through and he finds things. He learns unique sealing jutsus from people that still live there, because people still live there. It's not fully abandoned. It's just the village was destroyed. But there are a lot of people there. Naruto learned a lot about his heritage there, and certain type of sealing jutsu. He now has the capacity to activate the chakra chains to a much more powerful degree. Yeah, so Naruto learned a lot about who he's from, who he is and where he's from. And so what goes down is, as Naruto travelled with Jiraiya, Naruto also learned how to utilize abilities like bringing people back from the death. Sasuke goes, what? From the dead? Naruto goes, yeah. Jiraiya Sensei almost died one time when I was trying to activate the Nine Tails chakra. It was my fault because I released too much at once, even the Kurumas told me. But I almost killed Jiraiya Sensei, and without realizing I summoned the King of Hell. The King of Hell ate Jiraiya, spat him out, healed him up. So I said, whoa, cute. And so yeah, Naruto and them all talking, they were just all way different. What goes down though is, when it comes to the time of the Tenchi Project, what goes down is Itachi sends a letter to Sasuke on a bird to tell him to come meet him at the old Uchiha hideout. Takes us to the third Hokage. Now, the third Hokage right now is being pressed by Danzo to retire and for Danzo to become Hokage, because Jiraiya does not want to be. And the third Hokage is not going to put Orochimaru on, and Tsunade doesn't want to become Hokage. So as they begin to talk, what goes down very clear is, because bear in mind, Orochimaru is given nearly all the Jonins in Konoha curse marks, proper ones, like none of the effect bad ones, but good curse marks are on their necks. So it allows them to activate a portion of Sage mode, you know, increase their strength, to go out and to heal, blah blah blah. Someone has the White Snake healing abilities. Orochimaru wanted to make sure, well, because Anko and Sasuke took no jutsu the hell out of them. So they look at no further than Kakashi. Kakashi is taken to the third Hokage and they speak, and long story short, the third Hokage announces that Kakashi Hatake is going to be the fifth Hokage. Everyone cheers. Danzo is livid that the third Hokage made Kakashi Hatake the fifth Hokage. And bear in mind, with the curse mark on his neck, Kakashi is a beast now. He can utilize the Sharingan with no fail whatsoever. His Mangekyo has no weakness thanks to Naruto fixing it. And so, the progression of power of Kakashi, he's quite a powerful Hokage. He can use Kamui well in and out, but he can't Kamui his body, but he can Kamui things. So this is what makes it unique. Sorry. And so, what goes down is, Kakashi's made the fifth Hokage, and Danzo becomes to be really, really bad, you know, really bad. He tries to take any advantage he can, but Root slowly but surely becomes inadequate to Konoha. And so, what goes down is, as Kakashi is made Hokage, Sasuke explains that Itachi got a hold of him and that he would like to meet him at the old Uchiha base. Kakashi looks at Sasuke, realizing that Sasuke has already killed Itachi in his mind, but he hasn't killed Itachi. But things have changed after he awakened the Mangekyo. So Kakashi goes to Sasuke, he stands up and goes, well then here it is then, your guys' first mission is me being Hokage, Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura. You guys will go off to blah blah blah, you'll go to the Uchiha hideout base to ascertain Itachi, and if you guys can, apprehend and bring him in. Sasuke looks at the third Hokage with a smile, the fifth Hokage, my bad, bows to Kakashi and walks away. So they all agree, and Naruto goes, who's our team leader? And Kakashi goes, you are, but doesn't it fall on a team? And Naruto goes, oh yeah, you're right. In walks Yamato. And he goes, Lord Hokage, and he goes, ha, Tenzo, welcome. And he goes, don't call me that. And he goes, here's your joining, I guess. This is, and Naruto looks at him and goes, his chakra. It's quite interesting. And he goes, And he goes, oh yes, I was an experimenter with Orochimaru a long time ago. I have the first Hokage's DNA. I can use wood style just like him. I'm Captain Yamato. Naruto's like, that's what it is. They shake hands, and it's quite interesting to Naruto. And he goes, I hear you can use wood style too, Naruto. Naruto goes to very little degrees again. And so Sasuke goes, oh, because Sasuke remembers Yamato. So they were in the Ombu together. Sakura's like, I have no idea. And so what goes down is Team 7, led by Yamato, head off to apprehend Itachi Uchiha. And so as they're running through the forest and going through situations, well, it gets made aware as Obito is watching. He wants to understand, how did this kid get Rinnegan? Like, what's going on? Because Madara got Rinnegan thanks to absorbing Hashirama's DNA, but Naruto is not related to Madara or Hashirama. So how was this possible? Naruto no meaning no Uchiha, Senju, Uzumaki. It dumbfounds Obito, and so he's watching, and so is Zetsu. And it takes about 2.5 days to get to the Uchiha base, but when they do get there, they walk in and they're met by Kisame. Kisame standing right there. He goes, I see that you brought the kid with the brat with the eyes. I wonder how powerful you are, kid. And Naruto, they walk forward and he puts a sword up in front of Naruto. Sasuke walks over and goes, no one else but Sasuke may go. You guys can stay here and entertain me. Naruto goes, entertain you? You are telling me to stay here to entertain you? Naruto looks right at Kisame and Kisame smiles. And as he's about to move with Samihara, Naruto freezes him on the spot with the Rinnegan. And Naruto goes, I'm gonna leave you here to think about your actions. He goes, come guys. They walk away. Kisame is frozen on the spot. Naruto genjutsu them and froze them in time pretty much. And as they walk in, Sasuke and Itachi are beginning to talk because Naruto and them are a little bit behind when they see each other. Itachi tells Sasuke that, he tries to do the same goading situation, forcing Sasuke to fight. However, it doesn't fully work. Because when Naruto and them walk in, Itachi stands there and Naruto immediately breaks to get the powerful Mangekyo genjutsu that is placed in the air. Itachi looks right at Naruto and he's quite impressed with Naruto's abilities. And Naruto goes, likewise, he throws the genjutsu back at Itachi, the Tsukuyomi, but Naruto makes a way more powerful one, and Itachi's mind, in his mind, he's never been pushed that far by anyone. Sasuke looks right at Naruto and realizes that Naruto is engaged in a staring contest. And Itachi has lost. Itachi falls off the chair immediately. Zetsu like, how did he lose? Until he realizes that kid with the Rinnegan. Naruto turns over and sees Zetsu. He sees us. He tries to get away, and Naruto runs up to the wall and smashes the wall completely. But Zetsu manages to get to the ground. Naruto's like, Yamato and them were like, what was that? And he goes, someone was watching us. Some weird aberration through the walls. Sasuke goes, what did you do? I did the same thing I did to him, what he was trying to do to you. And Sasuke goes, that's interesting. I was like, I learned a lot of things. You Uchiha have unique abilities too. Have you heard of Uchiha Reflection? And Sasuke goes, nope. He goes, you should learn it. Pretty unique technique. It's like a good, perfect counter to jutsu, you know? And Sasuke goes, what do you mean? Naruto opens up his Rasengan and he goes, if I chuck this at you, and you did the Uchiha Reflection back at me, this Rasengan will come back to me twice as big and it'll hurt me really bad. And Sasuke goes, whoa, closes his hand. A lot that you need to learn, Sasuke, a lot you need to learn. And so what happens is that Naruto grabs Itachi, and Naruto puts his hand in the Kisame and goes, I'm Kisame out, and 3, 2, Yamato's like, what's happening? And Sakura goes, oh, Naruto's teleporting us back to the village. And he goes, oh, okay. Alright, makes it a little easy. And it's like 3, 2, 1, boom. They teleport to get back to Konoha, and Naruto goes, do you know what? And Sasuke goes, what? I just realized I left a seal marker there a long time ago. I could have just teleported us here and saved a whole day and a half or 2 days of walking. Sasuke looks at Naruto and instantly berates him. And Itachi wakes up slowly, kind of smiling. Hearing Sasuke's voice, Naruto leaves him into the Konoha office where they talk. Around this time, as this is going down, Pain has attacked all the other Jinchuriki but Killer Bee, and he is making his way to the hidden cloud village. So it's going to be, and bear in mind also, Asuma has not died yet, or has not died. So that's still up for grabs. But what happens is the Akatsuki are near their full number, They lost a couple, to be honest. They've lost 4 members now. But what happens is they head off to the Hidden Cloud Village to acquire the last tail beast before Naruto, because it's going to be the hardest battle. So they need to make sure that the Akatsuki is at their full power, full team, blah 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 blah. But with having Itachi back in the village, this is where things dramatically change. Because Naruto put Itachi in that Tsukuyomi, when he was staring at Itachi, he was extracting all the information Itachi had, everything Itachi did. He realized the third Hokage put Itachi up to all this stuff. He realized that Itachi was a spy within Konoha. So when Sasuke wanted to kill Itachi, Naruto made sure he didn't. Being back in the village, Naruto shows Sasuke what he saw in Itachi's mind. And when Sasuke sees this, he drops to his knees and he breaks down crying. Looks right at Naruto and gives Naruto a hug. And then what happens? He thanks Naruto for doing it to him. And as Sasuke opens his eyes, his Mangekyo Sharingan is activated. And Naruto goes, "You bet your buddy." And so they go see Itachi. So Naruto shows Kakashi, what exactly he's seen. He shows that all the third Hokage is not proud, but he agrees what has transpired. And so what goes down is he's into question Danzo. He is really angry that they said something that apparently they had no real need of knowing. But because Kakashi is the Hokage, he should have known. But no, he wasn't brought to speed. And this is where it sets a fissure in Konoha when it comes to the Root and Konoha itself. Because Danzo has a lot of Root members that if he was to order anyone to attack, they would do so. And that's why it surely comes to fruition, quite literally. Even Kakashi foresees exactly what's about to happen. And so with Kakashi using the Sharingan, he looks at Naruto to send the message. And he looks at Sasuke to send the message. Naruto does one hand sign with one hand. And about 1,000 shadow clones of Naruto are outside the building. And they scatter to apprehend all the Root Ninja. Bear in mind, Naruto is used to seeing with shared vision, so he can see with the thousands of eyes easily. And so Naruto, slowly but surely, quietly apprehends every single Root member. And when Danzo tries to rebel and go against it, this is when Naruto finally brings up his concern. He tells him, "That seal that's on your arm, Danzo, it's been hiding something this whole time. I didn't notice it till now. Didn't want to notice it, to be honest. I thought it was just something malicious. But I'm guessing that arm of yours is not your arm." Naruto instantly uses his Rinnegan and he blows away Danzo's complete robe from his right shoulder. In doing so, or his left shoulder. I'm not sure if Danzo, Rinnegan Sharingan arm is his right arm or his left arm. I always get confused. But what goes down is when Naruto reveals the arm, it shows Hashirama's face on it and all the Sharingan. When they see that, Danzo's like, "How did Naruto holds him in place?" And Danzo, he's able to weave the Izanagi hand signs. Naruto sees that, and then Naruto seeing that Danzo weaved the Izanagi hand signs, this unfortunately changed a lot again as well. Naruto waited and he released Danzo, and Danzo comes back to try to attack Naruto. Naruto uses the jutsu and reverses it. What Danzo did, Naruto grabs Danzo and uses the ability and rips Danzo's soul out. Because Danzo tried to kill Kakashi. They all tried to kill the Hokage. He was going against him. And so Naruto, without hesitating, ripped Danzo's soul out. In doing so, he unintentionally absorbed it and read Danzo's mind. And Naruto tells him everything. Everything that Danzo has happened all the way from his beginnings to now. Naruto then releases the soul back to Danzo and he wakes him up. Danzo looks at Naruto like, "What did you do to me?" Naruto slams Danzo down and he projects in all their minds what he's seen. It is absolutely critical, and Danzo is arrested, placed on trial. All the Root Ninja that did all these terrible things are placed on trial. And one by one, Danzo is pretty much jailed for life, and all the other Root Ninja have to pretty much do a form of probation to get back to notable notoriety in a sense. What goes down though is Team 7 has pretty much outlived Team 7 in a sense. Sakura at this point has now fully activated the Byakugo seal. Sasuke has the Mangekyo Sharingan, to which he's going to have the Eternal Mangekyo soon. And Naruto is perfect 6-path Rinnegan Sage mode, like he's a god. And so Kakashi thinks about it properly. Is it wise sending his most powerful and valuable team out there, all out there, or was it best to keep him here and to help out the village? And so he ponders that, and he thinks to that conclusion. And Sasuke goes too. And Sasuke states that he will run Root, but he'll run it better. And what happens is Kakashi goes, yeah, he trusts Sasuke's word 100%. And so he does. He allows Sasuke to reorganize with the help of Shikamaru and them, and the older men, Shikaku and them, to reorganize Root. And they just become the new Konoha Black Ops Anbu. Sakura works along Tsunade as the top medical ninja, as Naruto himself. He just is being groomed to become Hokage because he's godly, he's powerful, and he's training Konohamaru. So everything is relatively different. Now back with Nagato and them, they have entered the Hidden Cloud Village. And they have gone through all the village hidden to the point where they find Killer Bee rapping. Nagato immediately appears, well, the Pains immediately appear, and they confront Killer Bee. They attack him, throw him off guard. Killer Bee instantly activates a lightning chakra and they begin to battle. And it becomes a mean one-on-one, mean square-off battle between Killer Bee and the clones. And they keep going, the other Pains. And as they keep battling through, it gets to the point where Killer Bee starts to use the 8-tails chakra. And as he starts to flex, this is when Tendo Pain stands there in between them. All the other Pains stand back. And when Tendo Pain stands there, it goes, "You are able to be a part of my collection, 8 tails. So do not fight." Summoning Jutsu. He summons the Gedo statue. The Gedo statue comes out and breaks his bonds immediately. The moment Killer Bee sees this, he instantly goes to full tail beast mode. And his Pain stands there, looking right at him. He instantly waves his hand to go to attack. Killer Bee is getting ready to attack, and as they're both about to clash, this is where I'm going to leave this one off, guys. I hope you guys like this. Please like, subscribe, leave comments down below, and also reach the like goal, guys. 200 likes, get it, boom, next part comes out, okay? But yeah, this is Dr. Kahu saying peace.